Hey guys, I'm Tom Roy, and I've been skating for over 20 years. I'm here to give you all the details that you need to know to learn tricks as fast and efficiently as possible, and of course make it fun in the process. Every trick has that one tip that you should never forget. Once you know what that is, it's in the bag. Let's get into it. What's up guys? Since I taught you guys how to wall ride Nollie last week, I figured might as well teach you guys how to Nollie. As I mentioned last week, I got a new board sponsor, a very unique one. It's a Web3 brand ran by a community with no central owner. And what's awesome about it is the boards that I'm going to be skating are board designs that artists are going to be submitting online, and the community ran by Gnars is going to be voting on the designs, and the ones that get the most votes will get printed on boards and I'll get to skate them. In the very near future, I'll be skating my first artist-submitted and user-voted design. I'll link my last tutorial here where you can learn more about Gnars. Let's begin. Very importantly for this trick, let's start with the foot position. Since this is a Nollie, a nose ollie, most of this trick is in your front foot. And your front foot placement will determine the way that you pop your Nollies. It's very important that you perfect the front foot placement. I like to have it in the center of my nose. If you have your foot hanging off the edge more like this, all your pressure is going to be pressing down on this side of the board. You want it to be pressing down in the center, along the nose and all throughout the whole board. If you have it on this side, it might also mess up your pop. Your board's going to turn a little bit, and you want your board to stay level as you're popping. That's how you get more pop. Now the back foot. I like to have my back foot just past the center of the board, a little bit more toward this direction. And this depends on how long your legs are. I have really long legs, so I like to have it a little bit further up because I can slide it further back on the tail. But if you have shorter legs, it might be easier to put your foot a little bit more back because you won't have to slide it up as much as you do with long legs like me. Just know that the further up your back foot is, the more pop you're gonna get. The further back it is toward your tail, the less pop you'll get. But it all depends on the length of your legs. You don't want it to go way too far up, and you don't want it to go way too far back. It's all about finding that perfect medium. I don't like to have my back foot hanging off the board, and I don't like to have it too far on the board. I like to have it right up near that edge. That feels like I have the most control over it, because as I said, my front foot is up in the center part, and this foot presses down pretty much in the center, maybe a little bit towards the toe side edge of your board, but that just helps keep your board nice and level and flat before you pop. I wear size 10.5, so if you have smaller shoes, your foot might not be as close to that edge. And the angle of your front and back foot, I like to keep my front foot angled this way toward the direction I'm going, and my back foot angles straight out, perpendicular to my board. I angle my front foot that way because as I'm rolling up, I face forward just a little bit. But then as you pop, that's when you square up and you keep yourself parallel with your board all throughout the rest of the trick. Now you're getting ready to pop. With Nollies, you want almost all the weight that you have on your front foot. Just enough on your back foot to hold the board down, just like you do with ollies. So notice how much I'm bent down and how much weight is pushing down in my front foot. You can see it just watching me do one. I bend down like this, pretty much to a 90-degree bend in your legs. That's what helps you put all that weight down on those toes. The way you lean in this trick makes a huge difference in how you pop your Nollies. If you lean too far back when you're about to pop, which is a super easy and common mistake, I make it all the time having long legs, where I'll go and I'll pop and I'll lean back at the last minute. What happens is your front foot comes off your board. You want it to try to stay glued to your board and then let your back foot slide up and level it out. You have to lean forward for this trick. That's going to help you avoid that front foot coming off the board and keep your feet nice and glued to it. Here's a really good takeaway. Think of keeping your front leg straight all throughout the Nollie. So bend down, pop up, and bring your front leg straight up. Your back foot can slide up and bend and go out a little bit more than your front foot. That's another reason why it's helpful to lean forward, because you're putting your weight down on that front leg already. Most of your weight is pushing straight down on it, so right when you go to release, you're jumping straight up above that front leg. Right when you pop down, turn that foot just like I taught with ollies, then slide your foot up the tail. What helps me is to think to slide your foot back fast and tuck that front leg up to your chest. If you don't do that, you're just gonna get kind of a sloppy Nollie. That also might cause your front foot to come off. You wanna make sure you're getting a good snap on the nose. If your nose is just barely scraping the ground, that's gonna really affect your pop. So make sure you really press down and really snap off when you pop. As I mentioned, you want to keep your shoulders square after you're popping and as you're in the middle of the trick. If not, it's really easy to turn this way and to turn like you're doing a Nollie frontside 180. See how easy it is to mess up the pop on that? So don't let your shoulders turn like this. And obviously when you're just learning these, it might be hard to get a really good tweak and to learn how to even do that. So take your time with it, work your way up to it. If you're just learning, you might just get those little pops. But that's all right, that's how you learn a trick. It's all progression, so be patient with it. Apply these tips to the now and to the future. Then land on your board, give your knees just a little bit of a bend, and roll away. That's it for Nollies, guys. Comment a Nollie or switch trick that you guys want to see in a future tutorial. I'm going to show you guys some Nollies in just a second, and a slow motion one. But before we do, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, hit those bell notifications on. It'll help us out big time. And be sure to stick around for the key takeaways after we do a few. Let's do some Nollies. Before you go, here are your key takeaways. Put your front foot in the center of the nose and angled forward. Bend down with your weight over your front leg. Pop hard, be sure to get a good snap. Slide your back foot back fast. Tuck your front leg straight up toward your chest. And finally, keep your shoulders parallel with your board. See you in the next tutorial. Ew!